Well, before I start today, after 99 episodes, Robert Schwartz from Ontario, Canada, tweeted me to say, "Can you say the date first? I listen on Android Auto," he says, "and I can't tell what podcast I'm listening to until you do say the day. And that can be 20 seconds or so into the intro. Oh, and that, by the way, means, as an aside, tomorrow is the 100th birthday. Send cake. So, here you go, Rob. From now on, from episode 100 tomorrow, it will start, as you asked for, with the date. It's Tuesday, the 24th of April, 2018, and this is your EV News Daily. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you're listening around the world, a very warm welcome from London in the UK. Here is today's news about electric cars and the future of transport. My name is Martin Lee, and I go through every EV article online, so you don't have to. Now, the current Model 3 tracker, as updated on the 23rd of April, shows 19,675 Tesla Model 3s produced at a current rate of 2,673 Model 3s being built every single week. Well, a quick heads up. In the UK, the Commercial Vehicle Show is starting today for 3 days. The new long-range ENV 200 from Nissan will be on show. That's the one with the same 40 kilowatt-hour battery as the brand new Nissan Leaf, although we think with some thermal management, which should allow for around 100 to 120 real-world miles for the van / people carrier / taxi, depending on how you use it and how you drive it. Moving on, and VW says they can't keep up with the demand for their plug-ins, the Golf GTE and the Passat GTE. So much so, they've closed the order books for now, as factories are running flat out. And I saw a tweet today from someone in the know saying the Hyundai Ioniq waiting time in Germany is almost a year. Is that right? I know you can't get one in this country, but a year? If anyone from Hyundai listens to this podcast, please contact me and tell me that's plain wrong and that people can get it quicker than waiting for a year. And there was lots happening on Earth Day over the weekend, including Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser welcoming a fleet of 14 new Pure EV Proterra buses. They'll start service on May the 1st, carrying 4.8 million passengers a year. Plus, City Furniture tweeted on Earth Day they'd ordered 5 Tesla semi-trucks, the first furniture retailer in the US to go electric. But we'll start with Tesla, and Elon Musk's recent all-staff email confirmed the rumours. Both Gigafactory 1, or Giga as he called it in that email, and the Fremont factory were to shut down for between 3 and 5 days to upgrade equipment, and systems needed to unlock the next wave of production targets. That's up to 6,000 Model 3s per week by the end of June. That's the burst rate number. Well, it looks like the shutdown is over, because 5,170 new Model 3 VINs have just been registered. A reminder that VIN numbers, when you track them, it's one of the metrics, I guess you could call it, metrics used by the Bloomberg tracker that I mentioned at the start of some of these podcasts. However, it is only one way of measuring, and at times not wholly accurate. Now, previous weeks have seen Tesla register between 3,000 and 4,800 VINs with NHTSA, so this is a large batch by comparison. This could well keep them going for 2 weeks, if the tracker figures are correct, of almost 3,000 Model 3s per week. Well, 2 years ago, Ferrari said never, never, never to an electric car. Bossman Sergio Marchinne is not a fan of batteries. Well, fast forward to today, and they've been testing a hybrid at their own test track at Maranello, where they test all of their race cars and Formula One cars. Well, we reported on the podcast a YouTube video last month which showed, according to the YouTuber who filmed it through the fence, a Ferrari taking off in silence. And now Bloomberg say that next year Ferrari will start offering hybrid technology in one of their sports cars, a first model that can run entirely on battery power for any significant distance. Now, the hybrid engine will soon be an option on all new Ferrari models, and from 2020, saying Bloomberg, Ferrari will use it as a sole drivetrain for their first SUV, which Marchionne says that it will be the fastest SUV on the market. Well, the maker of charging stations and sponsors of Formula E, everyone's favourite Swedish-Swiss tech company ABB, is busy this week showing off some shiny new toys, although with other charging groups at the event, like CHAdeMO, they're not alone at the Industrial Technology Show in Hanover. It's happening all of this week. It started yesterday, and attendees are getting a glimpse of their 350 kilowatt Terra chargers. Now, the CEO of ABB, Ulrich Spiesshofer, said in Hanover, this high-power fast charger provides electric vehicles with up to 7 times more range in the same charging time than previous models. Now, you may remember, if you listen to previous podcasts, and by the way, they're all online for free, these are the chargers chosen by Electrify America for the 2,000 new chargers in 500 locations to be rolled out this year and next. They're the ones that are going to cater for all options in the USA, CCS and CHAdeMO, although the CHAdeMO side will be software limited to 50 kilowatts whilst tests are ongoing. When those tests are complete, the software restriction will be delimited to 100 kilowatts. Well, Volvo said yesterday they want to share as much as possible when it comes to battery technology to keep their R&D costs down across their own brands, which include Japan's UD trucks, Scania and Mack trucks in the USA. Well, battery technology is not the only differentiator for the most part, but it is the biggest cost of many EVs. Now, Lars Stenqvist, he is the Chief Technology Officer at Volvo Group Trucks, and he told Reuters in an interview that we are really striving to reuse a lot when it comes to expensive components, which are expensive when it comes to development and production costs, not only between the truck brands, but also the bus brands and construction equipment. Well, the benefits of the group is that we can get high volumes when we reuse components across the group, end quote. Now, we recently covered the story of Volvo's very first battery-powered medium-duty, I think you'd call them, trucks for deliveries and refuse collection. They joined Mitsubishi's Fuso electric trucks, which is already being sold and in use in North America and Europe. And VW aren't far behind with theirs too, thanks to an alliance with Toyota, again there with the aim of reducing costs. Well, London had a remarkable drop in air pollution on Sunday, 2 days ago. In fact, it was down by 89%. Now, what could cause pollution to plummet in one of the world's biggest cities for such a specific time period as 1 day? Well, the answer lies with people who choose to run 26.2 miles on a Sunday morning, and for some of them, they call it fun. They are marathon runners, and they are mad. And I know because I've done the London Marathon, and my knees thank me for moving on to triathlons, if I'm honest with you. King's College London took some air samples on Sunday during this year's London Marathon, when the combustion-engined cars, buses and trucks were all banned from the centre of London to make way for runners. Now, it's the particularly harmful NOx, the nitrogen oxides, which saw the dramatic plummet of 90%, all thanks to 40,000 runners, which incidentally is a similar number who will die prematurely from diesel emissions every year in Great Britain. Not purely diesel emissions, but pollutants. 40,000 people are said to die prematurely. For any cities watching on, maybe even those ones that have announced their own permanent bans from petrol and diesel, Paris and Rome, etc. The results do show how quickly air quality can start to improve and give them confidence to move forwards with their plans, maybe even sooner than they'd announced. And finally, for anyone who doubts the Chinese are coming to make your cars, just like they make that little mini computer you have next to you right now, called a mobile or your cell phone, just take a look at the news happening almost daily now. They have big plans for the USA and Europe, not just with their own brands as well, but with the parts used to power the other car makers they'll be involved with. And Chinese battery maker Tianjin Lishan is looking to open a sales office in the land of the luxury European car in Germany, just so it can supply them with batteries needed for their luxury EVs. Well, Reuters claimed that a source close to Volkswagen said that the company is in advanced talks with Tianjin on lithium-ion battery supply contracts, but agreements have not been signed. Any new office would be located near Wolfsburg, where VW has its headquarters. The source at Tianjin said, declining to give any more specific details. So what does that mean? Well, VW want to sell 3 million electrified cars, well, vehicles. Maybe cars, but I think technically they said vehicles, by 2025. And each, what they did say, what they were very clear on, each of their 300 models are going to be electrified by 2030. Well, as supply chains go, those deals, those negotiations are undoubtedly taking place right now. Some of them already concluded, and we know contracts signed for their batteries. Well, I would love to spread the word about electric cars, and if you can, share this with somebody who might be interested. You can listen to every previous episode of the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, and the blog, evnewsdaily.com. Remember to subscribe, which means you don't have to think about downloading the show each day. Plus, you get it first and free and automatically. It would mean a lot if you could take 2 minutes to leave a little review on whatever platform you download the podcast. And if you have an Amazon Echo, download the Alexa skill, the flash briefing, to play this bulletin when you say, Alexa, play my flash briefing. And it'll play you this. Come and say hi on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. Just search EV News Daily. Have a wonderful day. And I'll catch you tomorrow.